Este perro fue rechazado por todos, pero lo que hizo salvará tu corazón.
A poor South Asian boy, around 9 years old, thin-billed, tousled black hair, wearing a torn, faded brown kurta, sits alone on the dirt floor of a small mud brick hut, knees pulled to his chest, sad eyes staring into the distance, empty room with a single tattered mat, soft dim light through a small window, cinematic wide shot, muted earthy color tones, melancholic mood. The same boy sits on a wooden charpai inside the mud hut, hugging a medium-sized brown and white stray dog with floppy ears, soulful brown eyes, and a rough coat. The boy's face showing a small, genuine smile amid poverty. Warm, golden afternoon light streaming through a cracked window. Close-up shot emphasizing the bond between boy and dog. Close-up shot of the boy tightly embracing the brown and white dog, both eyes closed, the boy's ragged clothes and thin arms visible, the dog leaning its head into the boy's chest affectionately. Soft, warm lighting, shallow depth of field, heartfelt cinematic emotion. The boy lies sick on a thin straw mat inside the dim hut, face pale and sweaty, eyes half closed with exhaustion, body weak and frail, a single oil lamp flickering nearby. The brown and white dog sitting worriedly beside him, dark shadows in the room, somber blue-toned lighting, cinematic medium shot. The boy attempts to lift his head from the mat, but falls back weakly, his thin arm trembling, the dog whimpering beside him with ears drooped low, worried expression on the dog's face, dim candlelight casting long shadows, emotional close-up. The brown and white dog repeatedly approaches the sick boy on the mat, gently licking his pale cheek, the boy's eyes barely open, weak smile on his face, dim, warm lamplight, intimate close-up shot, emotional tension in the scene. Wide shot of the dog standing at the hut's broken wooden door, looking back once at the sick boy on the mat, then dashing outside into a dusty South Asian village street at dusk, urgency in its posture, motion blur on its legs, cinematic tracking shot. The dog runs desperately through a narrow dirt village street lined with small mud houses, tongue out, panting, villagers in traditional shalwar kameez glancing at it curiously, dust rising from its paws, dramatic low-angle shot, warm, dusty evening light. The dog stops at the wooden door of a village house, standing on hind legs, scratching at the door, barking urgently, its fur dusty and eyes desperate. An elderly South Asian villager peeking out from a window with a confused expression, dim evening lighting. Close-up of a villager's hand shooing the dog away with a stick, the dog flinching but not giving up, ears pinned back, sad and desperate eyes, dusty street background, dramatic side lighting emphasizing rejection and struggle. The dog continues running through the village, passing several closed doors, its paws dusty and tired, panting heavily. Wide shot of the dusty street lined with small shops and mud homes under a darkening orange sky. Cinematic sense of urgency. The brown and white dog finally sits down exhausted in front of a small pharmacy shop with a wooden signboard and dim yellow light spilling from inside, barking loudly and continuously, body tense, eyes fixed on the shop door, cinematic medium shot at dusk. The pharmacy owner, a middle-aged South Asian man with a thick mustache, wearing a white kurta and glasses, steps out of the shop holding a lantern, looking down at the barking dog with surprise and concern, warm yellow light from the pharmacy doorway illuminating the scene. Close-up of the dog looking intently in one direction, then back at the pharmacist, then again in the same direction, eyes pleading and urgent, ears alert, body angled toward the direction of the boy's hut, dramatic nighttime lighting. The pharmacist crouches down slightly, studying the dog's persistent behavior, a look of realization dawning on his face, lantern light flickering, dusty village street stretching behind him, cinematic close-up capturing his changing expression. Wide shot of the pharmacist following the running dog through the dark village streets through nighttime scenes, lantern raised high, casting a warm glow, the dog running ahead and glancing back to make sure the man is following, night sky with a few visible stars, cinematic tracking shot. The pharmacist and the dog arrive at the small mud hut, the wooden door slightly ajar, the man's face turning to alarm as he pushes the door open, lantern light spilling into the dark room, dramatic entrance shot. Inside the hut, the boy lies unconscious on the straw mat, face pale and lifeless looking, limbs limp, the dog rushing to his side and whimpering, the pharmacist kneeling beside him in shock, lantern casting dramatic shadows on the mud walls, emotional wide shot. The pharmacist gently lifts the unconscious boy into his arms, his head lolling weakly, the dog following closely at his feet with worried eyes, both exiting the hut into the dark village night. Urgent motion blur, cinematic low-angle shot. Wide shot of the pharmacist carrying the boy through the dark village street toward a waiting bullock cart or rickshaw, other villagers gathering with lanterns and worried expressions, the dog running alongside barking anxiously, dramatic nighttime rescue scene. Interior of a modest South Asian village clinic, the boy lying on a simple hospital cot with an IV drip, a doctor in a white coat examining him, dim fluorescent lighting, the pharmacist standing worriedly nearby, tense atmospheric medium shot. Days later, the same boy lies in the clinic bed with slightly more color in his cheeks, eyes open and alert, weak smile forming, sunlight streaming through a window, hopeful warm lighting, cinematic recovery shot. The boy, now walking slowly with a bit of support from a nurse, exits the clinic doors into bright daylight, thin but standing, hopeful expression on his face, warm golden sunlight, wide shot, symbolizing recovery and hope. Wide shot of the boy walking back through the familiar dusty village street towards his mud hut, weak but determined, eyes scanning ahead eagerly, warm late afternoon light casting long shadows, emotional anticipation in his expression. The boy approaches his hut and sees the brown and white dog sitting perfectly still at the doorway, unmoving, eyes closed peacefully, the boy's expression shifting from joy to confusion, golden hour lighting casting a soft glow, cinematic medium shot. Close-up of the boy kneeling beside the motionless dog at the doorway, reaching out with trembling hands to touch its fur, realization and heartbreak spreading across his face, soft, warm sunset lighting, emotional, devastating close-up. The boy cradles the lifeless body of the brown and white dog in his arms, tears streaming down his face, sitting on the dusty ground in front of the hut, golden sunset light bathing the scene in warm, melancholic tones, wide emotional shot capturing profound grief and love. Silhouette shot at dusk of the boy sitting alone beside the dog's still body in front of the small mud hut, the sky painted in deep orange and purple hues, a single star beginning to appear, poignant and symbolic wide shot, representing loyalty, love, and loss.